Sauce the boss, yo, sauce the boss, of course. Simple sauce.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the building. About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the building. About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the building. About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the building.
Shout out to Sauce the boss, of course, man. Who's in the building, man? Shout out to Sauce the boss, of course, man. Who's in the building, man? Shout out to Sauce the boss.
Well, let's dive right in. Without paying attention, you might be tempted to think this is just another uneventful security cam footage, but pay attention to the area around the stairs. Do you see it? There's a dark mass moving around that area. While it's visible, it doesn't look like it's tangible. This is what shocked the owner of the security system, causing him to upload it online and search for help and inputs. Many in the community who saw the clip believed it was just a shadow being. Looking at the clip, I understand why they think that, but why would a shadow creature or figure be moving on all fours? We're not exactly sure, but one thing we can be certain of is this. If that was indeed a shadow creature, then it was up to no good. If you're new here and hearing of shadow creatures for the first time, they're creatures known to silently observe, instill fear, cause sleep paralysis, or drain energy depending on which culture's rendition you're listening to. One thing all cultures that have these beings in their folklore agree on is that they're malevolent or ominous beings best avoided. Simply put, they're bad news. If what we're seeing is real and legit, then the owner of the footage really has some work to do. Not everyone agrees, though. Some believe the clip was doctored and edited just to rake in views. Well, you've watched the clip. What do you also think?
Here's how the average man's life would change if he never saw an ad again. Day 1, he would install Pi on...
Jesus, let's shoot.
Okay. While you write out your thoughts on that, let's visit Nevada, where a young man has made a bizarre discovery.
Okay, wait, don't move, right? So that's bone moving?
Connor Kelly and his friend, whose name we don't have, decided to explore the McCoy mines after they'd gone on a ride in the area. While they went through the abandoned mine, which is something you should never do, they came across what can only be described as a disturbing discovery.
Hey, Wyatt, fall back.
There were human bones and shoes lying around. Irrespective of who you are, a scene like this is bound to upset you. Given the fact that this was an abandoned mine, it somewhat made sense to find old bones and what have you in a place like that. I mean, no one goes there, and the shoes looked like they'd been there for decades. It was a frightening yet exciting experience. That at least was the case until they came across shoes and bones that looked like they were recently brought to the place.
It's a shoe.
Oh,
It's not like a fossil. Dead animal. Or human.
okay, wait, don't move, right?
That got them thinking and wondering. Seeing fresh human remains anyway is never a good sign.
So that's bone moving? Yeah, that.
Not knowing who was dumping these bones there and why, they decided it was best to leave the place. If it were just old bones, we could have concluded this is something from the past. Since it's a mixture of both old and new bones, it means the individuals who started dumping the bones there had still been doing it over the years or trained someone else to keep up the tradition. This leads to one big question, or at least a couple. Who is the one dumping these bones there? Why are they dumping them? And above all, where are they getting the bones from? These are questions we'll never get answers to because Connor never posted any more videos about the mines, and it's been 3 years already since his last post. Some say the authorities got him to make him hush, whereas others say he lied about it and set up the whole thing. Now that you've seen the clip, what do you think about the whole thing?
It's a shoe.
Oh,
It's not like a fossil. Dead animal or human.
okay. Wait, don't move, Wyatt. So that's bone over there? Yeah, Dad.
Check it out.
So this is more than a little disconcerting. It's just a pile of shoes with some bones in there.
There's like bones.
In parts of Pakistan, especially in crowded urban areas, you might come across children with unusually small heads, often dressed in bright or unusual clothes and led around while begging. Some people call them the rat people, a nickname that's not only hurtful but also strips them of their humanity. Over time, rumors have spread about who they are and where they're coming from, but the truth is far from disturbing and rooted in exploitation, not mystery. Many of these children have a condition called microcephaly, which causes the head to be significantly smaller than normal. But in some heartbreaking cases, it isn't a natural condition at all. Reports have revealed the criminal gangs deliberately deform these children by placing extremely tight metal bands around their heads at a very young age, restricting normal skull growth.
जिनके घरों में होते हैं ना उन्होंने दिहाड़ी पे लिए होते हैं वो बच्चे तो फिर इनका हवाला दे के वो उनसे मांगते हैं
इनका उससे ताल्लुक कोई नहीं है नाम इस्तेमाल
हम उधर होते हैं हमें पैसे दें ये वो आपकी दुआ कबूल हो जाएगी ये वो ज्यादा औरतों को
तो ये बच्चे इनको मिलते किधर से हैं ये जो ये इनके अपने ही बच्चे होते हैं या ये कहीं से उठा के
लैंड पे देते हैं.
Once their heads are misshapen, they dressed in striking clothing and sent to beg on the streets, collecting money that goes directly to their abusers. These children aren't part of some strange legend. They're victims of cruelty and poverty. Rather than turning them into objects of curiosity or gossip, we need to see them as they are, human beings in need of compassion, protection, and justice. Moving on from Pakistan, we come across this footage uploaded online by a man who allegedly lives in the desert. He was going through the desert one day when he started to hear strange sounds. They did sound like screams, but who will be out there screaming in the desert, he asked himself. He followed the screams regardless, and they led him to an abandoned old well. At that moment, he was sure the sounds were coming from the well. What he wasn't sure about, however, was what was making those sounds. All things being equal, he might have suspected that they were from children or juveniles who had fallen into the well, but he was no amateur. He knows there are jinn in the area and has narrowly escaped one in the past. Being the cautious man that he is, he recorded the encounter and posted it online, hoping someone would see and offer insights. Almost everyone who saw it told him it was a jinn responsible for the sound. Personally, not sure how to feel about this one, but what do you think?
Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Like this marketing team, asked at the last minute to brainstorm campaign ideas out of thin.
Ever since the Snowden files, it's not unpopular to meet individuals who have taped their cameras for fear of being spied on. While there's justification for covering the camera because of everything we know from the Snowden files, there is another culprit we usually ignore that may be doing far worse than our laptops ever could. This culprit is your smart TV. If your smart TV comes with an inbuilt camera and mic and is always connected to the internet, especially public ones, it's simply an open invitation to hack and spy on you. Anyone with the right skill set can do that.
See, they don't think a nigga seen them, dog. You don't supposed to be able to see they head, bro. I don't know what the fuck. But you can see the nigga, see his hand moving down now. He's sitting somewhere watching the nigga, my. This what's going on the nigga TV, my. in the fucking and everything doing what you do.
The clips you are currently watching are clips that prove this is possible, and the funny thing is, it's not that hard to do. So while smart TVs sound like the biggest modern craze, I won't be jumping on the bandwagon yet. There are lots of security flaws that could be exploited as long as an individual knows what they're doing.
He's sitting somewhere watching the nigga, my this what's going on nigga TV, my in the fucking and everything doing what you do. Man, he watching the nigga, bro. Real talk, man. Look at this pussy, man.
Stepping away from the trap we have created for ourselves in the name of modernity, let's take a look at a sighting of something so ancient that not many of us believe it exists anymore: the Skinwalker. The clip was uploaded by a user named Troya. I know it's dark and blurry, but if you look beyond the low-quality clip, you might just discover something that may shake your belief system. I know it's hard to see, but according to Toya, there's something in the distance. It's a humanoid creature, but it's got reflective eyes that look back at Toya and her family. For a little bit of context, Toya is recording this on her family's property, and according to her, they receive a strange visitor every evening who just stares in the direction as though they were expecting something. Having noticed the creature, they typically stay indoors around the time they expect it to appear, and it's always on time, but it never approaches their home. Instead, it just watches from a distance. Toya was initially confused as to what this thing might be, but after many visitations and a lot of personal research online, she believes it's a skinwalker stalking them. Why? She's not very sure, but it's been consistently showing up as though it were waiting for the day it will slip up to make its move. Please take a critical look at the clip and let me know if you see what Toya has been talking about.
If you're ever trying to lock or unlock your car, but it's not working because it's too far away, all you have to do is hold up the key fob to your head and your brain will act as an antenna, giving you way more range than you would normally have.
So when I saw this video, I found it funny because, well, it sounded like another one of those conspiracies that could never amount to anything. I mean, how can you tell me I can extend the range of my radio devices using my head? I showed it to Julius so we could laugh at it together, but instead, it ended up being the opposite. He told me this conspiracy was true. Believe it or not, holding your car key fob up to your head can actually help extend its range. This quirky trick works because your body, especially your head, is made up mostly of water, which can help transmit and slightly amplify the radio signal your key fob sends out. When you press the button while it's near your head, like under your chin or against your temple, the fluids and tissues in your body act like a passive antenna, allowing the signal to travel a bit further than it normally would on its own. It might sound like a strange life hack, but it's backed by real science. The signal used by most car key fobs is a low radio frequency range, and while your body doesn't create or power the signal, it can enhance how it moves through space. So if you're ever struggling to unlock your car from a distance, don't be surprised if using your own head as a signal booster actually does the trick. It's just your biology giving technology a little boost.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
So I have much to say here, but just watch this.
To announce that this Sunday will be open.
Okay, we've been trying to do this announcement several times today already, and 3 times that podium back there has fallen over on its own, and it's stable. I mean, it's not wobbly at all. It's kind of like
In case it wasn't already obvious, we've got what looks like a priest or pastor trying to record an announcement, but keeps getting interrupted by strange things happening around him. According to him, the podium has been falling consistently ever since he tried recording the announcement when it's supposed to be sturdy. This made some believe that there was a paranormal entity playing with him there. Others were quick to point out that it might not be a paranormal entity at all, but instead that this video was staged for the sake of likes, as no pastor or priest would openly admit to this instead of sharing the intended announcement.
Another pointed out that a real priest would have prayed instead, but you've seen the clip, so what do you think?
Okay, we've been trying to do this announcement several times today already, and 3 times that podium back there has fallen over on its own, and it's stable. I mean, it's not wobbly at all. It's kind of like
Someone was out by the river just enjoying the quiet when they noticed something odd. At first, it looked like the water had a dark patch, almost black, but as they looked closer, they realized it wasn't the water. It was a swarm of tiny fish tightly packed together, moving in unison like one living shadow. Curious, they pulled out their camera and began recording, but then something strange happened. As soon as they zoomed in on the exact spot, the fish suddenly scattered instantly. It was as if the fish knew they were being watched, almost like they could sense the focus of the camera. One moment they were there, and the next they vanished, disappearing into the river like nothing had ever been there. It's the kind of moment that makes you wonder, was it just a coincidence, or do animals sometimes pick up on things we can't explain? Whatever it was, the timing could not have been more perfect or more eerie. A man woke up one cold morning to find that it had snowed overnight, but what started as a normal winter day quickly turned strange. As he stepped outside and brushed his feet on the snow-covered ground, flames appeared where he brushed the surface. Yeah, flames. Keep in mind that this was snow. Snow is water. It shouldn't catch fire, right? Yet there it was, fire appearing right on top of the snow as he moved across it. The video he captured quickly went viral, and people began asking the same question. How is this even possible? Some suggested that it could be a man-made snow, possibly filled with strange chemicals. Others pointed to theories of weather manipulation, suggesting that this might be a side effect of geoengineering or even some kind of artificial weather experiment. Then there's the more chilling idea. Could something be hidden in the snow itself, something flammable, whether it's chemical residue, pollution from the sky, or evidence of something we're not supposed to know about? This bizarre event has left many people questioning what's really falling from above. So what do you think?
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got Shape Video.
For those who don't believe in an afterlife, this story might just make you think twice. A woman had just lost her best friend, but before her friend passed away, a simple touching promise to visit as a bird and tap on her window after she passed. Weeks went by, and the woman felt the emptiness even more because that visit never came. One day, she sat alone in a car out of the window. She softly spoke to her departed friend, reminding her of the promise that made. Just a few days later, something happened. A small mockingbird appeared at her window and tapped just like her friend said it would. But that was not the end of it. The bird kept coming back, tapping on the same window week after week. It didn't feel random, not to her. She believed that her friend had kept her promise. Do you believe that's the case here? There's been some serious advancement in innovation, especially when it comes to robot technology. Gone are the days of clunky metallic humanoids. Now we're stepping into a world where robots look nearly identical to us. Take a look at this footage. Two men are carefully attaching a silicone head and face mask onto a robot. And when they're done, the end result is both amazing and chilling. The skin texture, the lifelike eyes, and even the way the mouth moves naturally are all disturbingly human. This isn't just a cool sci-fi experiment. This is real, and it's happening fast. At the rate things are going, in just a few years, we might be walking down the street thinking we're surrounded by people, when in reality, 3 out of 10 could be robots. You know how our parents always tell us to close our doors when we enter our homes? Well, this woman's situation might be a good example of why it's necessary. She'd recently moved into her home and was documenting the experience. You know, the TikTok trend of putting a new apartment together while vlogging. Yeah, she was doing that. While one of the recording sessions, a man just walked into her room and it naturally scared and startled her. She tried to back off and run away, and yes, she was successful in escaping, but pay attention to the clip as she makes her way out of the room. The door opens by itself without her doing anything, and it doesn't appear to be an automatic door or anything of that sort. She initially didn't notice, but when her viewers pointed it out, she mentioned that she had also missed it due to how fast things happened. Personally, I was beginning to suspect the whole thing was staged and someone opened the door for her. That's at least until I saw what happened next. She was trying to record a cute video with her cat when she heard a slam which startled her. She checks, and there's no one there. She retreats to take her pepper spray, and that's when she notices footsteps on her bed, but there is no tangible person, almost as though a ghost was visiting. After narrating her full experience, many people find it weird that she's recording break-ins not just from humans, but ghosts as well. Some have advised her to move, whereas others have mentioned that the ghosts might just be protecting her. You've seen the video, so what do you also think?
Please get out of my apartment. Please get out of my apartment.
This is a bizarre-looking photograph, right? Well, something lingers here, something unaware that time has moved on without it. They say some places never forget, some vessels carry more than just memories, and then there's this one. A silent giant docked in Long Beach, California, the Queen Mary. Once a majestic ocean liner, now whispered to be home to over 130 spirits. Not stories, residents, unfinished journeys, restless echoes. Among the countless claims and eerie accounts tied to this ship, one image stands apart. No one's been able to explain it. No tricks of light, no camera glitch, just a figure captured on film as if caught in the act of forgetting it ever died. It chills me every time. A face, maybe a life, stuck, watching, waiting. Is it mourning itself or just lost? Hard to say because we can barely see its form, but what do you think? Someone walked into their bedroom and immediately felt off. That's when they noticed something by the window. It was this strange shape, like half of a shadowy figure just standing there. At first, they thought it might have been a reflection from something in the room, but something about it felt too deliberate. The figure didn't move, it just stood there, partially visible, like it was halfway in our world and halfway somewhere else. Later, they decided to run the photograph through a filter to enhance the image, and that's when things got chilling. The shape that seemed like a random blur was now clearly humanoid, with that looked like the outline of shoulders and something like a head. But the body wasn't solid. It was see-through, like it was made of shadow and smoke. This was their first ever paranormal encounter, and now they're left confused. Even more unsettling is that they don't know why it was just standing there, staring out of the window, or even just watching them.
That's so fun. Coolest plugin I ever used. Arcade. It's used by the top artists and producers in the game. You could chop samples, play out.
Someone shared a black and white photograph online claiming it captured the aftermath of a UFO crash, and what they say is an alien body lying beside it. There's no gore or blood, just a black and white image of what appears to be a humanoid figure face up on the ground. Its limbs are long and thin, and the head looks oddly large in proportion. Exactly the kind of description we've all heard in alien encounter stories. According to the person who posted it, this was part of a highly secretive incident that the government is allegedly trying to cover up. But here's the thing. They didn't mention where or when this happened. No date, no location, just the photo. Now, if this feels familiar, it's probably because it mirrors the infamous Roswell incident where a similar alien body was said to have been recovered decades ago. In fact, the being in this photograph looks almost identical to the one described in the Roswell's reports. That's exactly why some people think this photo might have been edited or recycled from that incident. Not to say that all UFO crash stories are fake, but this one, it raising a lot of eyebrows and even more questions. Speaking of UFOs, what do you guys make of this one? A few people were just chilling one evening when they looked up and saw this streaking across the sky. Some say it's a UFO making its grand entrance. Others are convinced it's just a meteor burning through the atmosphere. Honestly, this is one of those rare clips where both arguments kind of make sense, but I'm going to step back on this one and leave it to you. What do you think it is? UFO or meteor? Drop your thoughts below. Ever since the COVID-19 vaccine rolled out, conspiracy theories have been popping up like wildfire. From mind control claims to hidden microchips, it's become a breeding ground for some of the most bizarre and chilling theories out there. But now there's a new one that's got people talking, and it's crazier. According to it, people who received the vaccine are now emitting a fluorescent glow. It's a soft orange hue that's become especially visible under UV light or in the dark. Witnesses say it's most noticeable around the nose and face, and that over time, the glow seems to spread across the skin. Strange, right? But it doesn't stop there. This isn't just some side effect. According to believers, they claim the glow is evidence of nanotechnology at work. These are tiny microscopic devices allegedly introduced through the vaccine. These nanobots are said to track, monitor, or even influence human behavior. Sounds like science fiction, but some insist it's terrifyingly real. And here's where it gets even more bizarre. This tech doesn't just stay in the vaccinated. It spreads through close contact or simply being near vaccinated individuals. Think of it as a digital version of viral shedding, except instead of spreading illness, it's spreading technology. There's no scientific proof that any of this is happening, but for those who believe, it's about the patterns seeing, the strange coincidences.
So, could this be true?
This massive handprint was discovered on a rock formation in China. At first, it looks like a fossilized imprint of a gigantic hand pressed deep into the stone. The fingers are long, thick, and strangely human-like, just way too big for a regular human. Seriously, if this was made by an actual hand, then whoever left it behind must have been a giant, and that's exactly what some people are saying. Theories are flying left and right, with some believing it's the mark of a giant humanoid creature, maybe even evidence of a species lost in time, one that walked the earth before history began recording it. But others aren't buying it. They say it looks more like a carving chiseled into the rock for artistic or symbolic reasons. Maybe it's part of ancient folklore or even a modern hoax. But when you look at the depth, the spread of the fingers, and how naturally it fits into the rock, it's hard not to wonder. Was this handprint really left behind by some massive creature, or is it just a clever illusion? Night walks are already terrifying, but imagine this happening to you. A man was walking home late one evening, sticking close to the side of the road, when something strange caught his attention. Up ahead, there was someone, a lone figure dressed in a hoodie, walking slowly right down the middle of the road. Curious and a little unsettled, he pulled out his phone and started recording. But what happened next was nothing he could have expected. As the hooded person continued walking, they reached a certain point, and then, just like that, they vanished. Not into trees, not down a side path. They simply faded into thin air right in front of him. The man was so stunned he froze for a moment, trying to process what he'd just seen, and then he fast walked home, constantly looking over his shoulder. Whatever he saw out there, it wasn't human. At least, not anymore.
If every time you see an ad, you just wanna, you need to download Pi. It's a free Chrome extension that blocks ads on all your favorite sites. It even blocks ads that you didn't even know were ads. Imagine.
What you're looking at is not just a man sitting in a chair. This isn't some romantic moment with his wife leaning in to kiss him while he holds a tarot card. No. This man is dead. And what you're seeing is his embalmed body posed upright just the way he was in life. According to reports, he was a powerful voodoo priest in Jamaica. After his passing, his wife refused to accept the idea of him laying in a coffin and burying him beneath the ground. She wanted him to remain present, still seated, still watching, still holding the card. So instead of a traditional burial, she had his body embalmed and preserved to sit in their home like this. Now, as strange and unsettling as it sounds, this isn't a completely isolated practice. Around the world, some cultures and individuals choose to embalm and keep their loved ones close after death, sometimes as part of spiritual beliefs, sometimes as a way to cope with grief. There's a strange trend going around on TikTok right now. People are voluntarily blurring their eyes, literally making their eyeballs quiver on command. Why are they doing this? Well, no one's really sure. Maybe it's to look cool, or maybe it's just one of those weird internet things. But what is really fascinating is that only about 8% of the world can actually do it. This odd little trick is caused by something called voluntary nystagmus. It's a condition where a person can rapidly move their eyes back and forth, creating a shaky, vibrating effect, kind of like a glitch. Most people can't do it at all, but for those who can, it's like having a secret superpower. Some say it feels weird, and others say it gives them a temporary headache. But for a handful of people, it's just something they've always been able to do. No one knows exactly why only a few have this ability, but on TikTok, it's become a badge of uniqueness. So the question is, can you do it, or are you one of the 92% just watching in amazement?
I can't. That made me feel dizzy.
Japan is known for its deep-rooted superstitions and ghost stories that are often too chilling to just brush off, and this next one adds to that legacy in the most unnerving way. A taxi driver in Japan was out on his usual night shift when he captured something downright creepy on his dash cam. Everything started off normally. He stopped to pick up what he thought was a passenger. You could even see him look over his shoulder as if checking to make sure they got in the car. But here's the thing. No one is seen entering the vehicle. At first, it seems like maybe it was just a misunderstanding until the car drives off and suddenly you see it. Sitting quietly in the middle of the back seat, there's a faint figure of a woman, pale, still, and staring straight ahead at the driver. What's even stranger is that the driver never reacts. It's like he has no idea she's even there. Many believe he only realized something was wrong when he reached the destination and found the backseat empty. Now, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. In Japanese folklore, there are countless tales of ghostly passengers, some even said to be spirits of people who died tragically in accidents. In one infamous case, a driver picked up a woman who appeared soaking wet, only to later discover that she had died years ago in a drowning accident. These ghosts are known in different cultures by many names, jinns, spirits, and apparitions, but they all seem to share one trait. They hitch a ride. So what do you think? Was this just a strange camera glitch, or did something paranormal really climb it?
Sauce the boss, yo, sauce the boss, of course. Hence, to the sauce. Sauce the boss.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Sauce Boss in the building. About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Sauce Boss in
that on. Who else, man? Sauce the boss, man. Of course, Sauce. That on. Who else, man? Sauce the boss, man. Of course.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only.
Sauce the boss, yo, sauce the boss, of course. Hence, to the sauce. Sauce the boss.